Hi, Rosa.
Alright. Who are we missing? Anybody?
Mark DeGenero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
He can't be on time when it's, in town hall. And now we can let him come from home and he's still late.
And I reminded him this afternoon. I'll text him.
I'll be right back.
Does anybody hear any feedback?
I don't. Why, do you?
A little bit of a hum, but I don't hear a lot of feedback though.
Yeah, I hear
When nobody talks for a while, I start to get a little bit of feedback. But I set up different speakers tonight too, so that's probably it. All right, so Maureen, I have several things to read tonight. Oh, the other thing is, am I shouting, by the way? Am I too loud?
No.
You're fine.
All right. My family doesn't seem to think so. They think I'm shouting when I'm sitting here. But I have my gavel
should
and
have-
everything. I'm all set.
Oh,
You are live.
thank you,
Okay.
Nancy.
You're welcome. Have a great meeting.
Thank you, Nancy. Bob.
Thank you.
Outer space, the final frontier. He's here.
Houston, we have a problem.
Mark, I really thought you were going tropical this evening.
No, I am.
He needs to get that memo I got.
All right. Let's see.
I just got a note from my 5-year-old.
Stop yelling.
What's that?
Stop yelling.
Stop yelling. I love you, Dad. All right, we'll get started. We said we're only missing, who are we missing?
We have everybody now, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. This is the May 21st, 2020 work session opening statement. Work session of Wyckoff Board of Adjustment is now in session in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the Township Clerk, the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald and News. All newspapers with general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and mailed to said newspapers. Members of the public are welcome to be present at this meeting. However, in accordance with Section 7A of the Open Public Meetings Act, participation on the part of the public at this meeting will not be entertained. All applicants are hereby reminded that your application, if approved, may be subject to the terms, conditions and payment of the affordable housing development fee requirements of the township. Information can be obtained from the Code of the Township of Wyckoff, Chapter 113-8 on the township's website, www.wyckoff-nj.com. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. I also have the Township Open Public Meetings Act. Please take notice that in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et seq. What follows, and in consideration of Executive Order Number 103 issued by Governor Murphy on March 9th, 2020, declaring a state of emergency in the state of New Jersey. The Zoning Board of the Township of Wyckoff does hereby notify the public that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens, the meeting of the Zoning Board of the Township of Wyckoff scheduled for Thursday, May 21st, 2020, will be conducted virtually through Zoom technology, and it will be live streamed on the Township of Wyckoff's YouTube channel. The work session is scheduled for 7:30 and the public business meeting will begin at 8 p.m. These measures are implemented to allow members of the public to observe the meeting via live streaming and to provide the ability to comment during the periods for public comment during the meeting through Zoom telephone call-in technology. Joining the meeting by telephone will be utilized as security against the sharing of inappropriate video content. General instructions regarding access to the meeting is posted on the Wyckoff website's homepage at www.wyckoff-nj.com as a news item. Okay, I think that's all I had to read. Correct, Ms. Mitchell?
Yep.
Fantastic. Roll call, please.
Mr. Tanis,
Here.
Mr. Kalpagian,
Here.
Mr. Hubert,
Present.
Ms. Evans,
Here.
Ms. Conlon,
Here.
Ms. Rioto,
Here.
Mr. Rubenacker,
Here.
Mr. Borst, Chairman Fry.
Here. Okay. All right, welcome everyone to our first ever live streaming via Zoom technology Board of Adjustment meeting. So fortunately, we've had some opportunities to prepare for this, so I think everything will go pretty smooth. But I do want to just touch base on a couple of items with the agenda for tonight, because that has changed a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So we just received recently the revised May 21st agenda. We have on it the work session meeting, the public meeting, reading the Open Public Meetings Act, roll call, and then we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance when we do the public meeting. We do have old business, approval of the February 20th, 2020 work session and public meetings that we will do. We have resolution 20-05 for payments. We will do that. We have one resolution to be memorialized, which is the Halili application, which was 11 Madison Heights, block 334, lot 102. That was previously approved. We have skipped a couple of meetings since, so we will be memorializing that application, voting to memorialize it tonight. And then we have another item that was an application that we did hear previously, the Han application, 51 Midland Ave, block 265, lot 117. That application has been withdrawn, so we will not hear that tonight. In addition, the applications that were previously on the agenda, because we had the noticing issue, and again, I appreciate everyone's patience, anyone else that's listening in as well. This is changing constantly, and David Becker is doing a great job trying to keep up and guide the board accordingly. And we did receive recent news that some language had to change for noticing, because previously the notice had gone out for a public session at Town Hall, both to the newspapers and to all the neighbors. That was for the March meeting. That has since changed, as we all know. Here we are, May 21st, doing a virtual meeting on Zoom. So because of that, the language had to change, and that language really just kind of took shape recently, and it didn't allow enough time for any of the applicants to renotice. So we do apologize for that, and we appreciate everyone being patient. However, that is the right way to go, and like I said, we appreciate Dave Becker guiding us accordingly. So the applications that we did have previously, we'll just go through those quick. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's either Heberts, 553 Fairmont Road, Block 279, Lot 6. Billings, 182 Wayfair Circle, Block 428, Lot 20. We would not be hearing that one anyway. That application, it sounds like the applicant may be fine tuning what they have provided previously, and the home may be conforming even with the modifications that they want to make. So we would not be hearing that one anyway. We won't be discussing that one tonight at all. Then we have Termanian, which is 630 Mountain Ave, Block 391, Lot 29, and Sulo, 234 Franklin Ave, Block 263, Lot 21. So what I'd like to do is get through the housekeeping order of business. And then I do want to spend a little bit of time, we'll go up to 8 o'clock, just discussing in the work session those 3 applications in case anybody has any questions. I only have a couple of comments. One's relatively cut and dry, one's very aggressive on a very undersized lot. And the other one is a large home being built in an area that definitely justifies having it. And a lot of the homes around it are large. But we can talk about that. There are some things that are unique with that one, a 3rd floor being one of them. So I do want to discuss that a little bit. All right, so without further ado, why don't we get into the approval of the work session, the February 20th work session and public meeting minutes. I did read through everything. I didn't notice anything out of order. Ms. Mitchell, can you just refresh my memory? Are all the board members here? Were some of them not present at the last meeting, so they won't be able to vote?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman. We had 3 board members absent from our February meeting, Ms. Conlon, Ms. Riato, and Mr. Hubert. So we will not be calling upon them to vote on the approval of the minutes and the resolution for 11 Madison Heights.
Okay, thank you. So just keep that in mind as we do vote on these couple of items. All right, so if anyone has any comments, by all means, feel free to bring them to the table. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the February 20th meeting.
I have no comments. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the February 20 public session meeting minutes. Are we going to do the business at the same time or just one at a time?
No, but we can do both.
Okay, so then the public work session as well as the public business meeting minutes from February 20th.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Rubenacker. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Who was that? Mr. Hubert?
Oh, Mr.
Ed.
Calpasian.
Ed,
Mr. Calpasian.
Mr.
Okay.
Calpasian.
I apologize. I'm trying to look down and look up to see who's talking. I'll figure out the box thing soon enough. All right, second by Mr. Calpasian.
Mr.
All right,
Tanis.
Ms. Mitchell, roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Tanner. Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Mr. Calpasian.
Yes.
Mr. Rubenacker.
Yes.
Mr. Borse.
Yes.
Chairman Fry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Resolution 20-05. I'll go through them really quickly. We have Board Professional Resolution Review fees. This is return of escrow. Halili application, 11 Madison Heights, $800. Sorry, that was a fee. Return of escrow is number 2. James Arnold Construction, 361 Cornell Street, $530.01. Township Engineer Review, Halili application, $68.50. And the Hahn application, 51 Midland Ave, $171.25. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 20-05?
I'll make the
I'll
motion.
make a motion. Oh, go ahead.
Brian,
And I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Vorst. Mitchell?
Ms. Conlon,
Yes.
Mr. Tanis,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Kalpagian,
Yes.
Mr. Hubert,
Yes.
Ms. Riato,
Yes.
Mr. Rubenacker,
Yes.
Mr. Borst,
Yes.
Chairman Fry.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have one resolution to be memorialized. That's the Halili application, 11 Madison Heights, Block 334, Lot 2. Again, I read through, everything seemed to be accurate. I don't have any comments. If anyone has any comments, by all means, present them now. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Halili resolution, 11 Madison Heights.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Kalpagian?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Can I get a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
All right, sounded like Mr. Rubenacker with the second. Ms. Mitchell?
Mr. Tanis,
Yes.
Mr. Kalpagian,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Rubenacker,
Yes.
Mr. Borst,
Yes.
Chairman Fry.
Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, then we had the one application I mentioned before, that was the Han application, 51 Midland Ave. That application has now been withdrawn. So, so far so good, I think. There is a slight delay, which is what's tricking me a little bit with who actually says what when they say it. But I think we're getting there. All right, so I do want to take a couple
From the Han
minutes.
application?
Excuse me?
Are we ever going to get that hour back on the Han application?
Yeah. Well, I think we had some good dialogue at that meeting, and I guess they heard the board loud and clear, and maybe they're going to come up with a different proposal, or maybe just take it off the table completely.
Agreed.
Okay, so we have about 15 minutes. Let's just take a little time. Hopefully everyone has had a chance. I know it was a little confusing. Fortunately, Ms. Mitchell was able to have my packet down at Town Hall, so I stopped by one day. It was nice and simple. I know the packets have been over at the police department, and you have to sign in, and the hours are restricted. So hopefully everyone had a chance to go over there and get the paperwork. So the Haber application, Mr. DeGennaro, our shooting star. I'll have you, as we traditionally do, go through your synopsis. This is 553 Fairmont Road, Block 279, Lot 6.
Where'd he go?
Okay. So you want me to go through the regular summary as if we're hearing the applications?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So 553 Fairmont Road, it is an existing single-family home in the RA 25 zone, currently on a corner lot, non-conforming due to lot area. The applicant seeks to relocate the generator, their existing generator, in the front yard of the structure. Our policy in the township regarding generators and AC compressors and pool equipment, they've basically been treated as accessory structures and are therefore not permitted in the front yard and must comply with the accessory structure setbacks in the zone. However, the location of the property and the location of the existing generator, they want to put it where they want to put it is actually the front yard of Lee Court, in the front yard of Lee Court.
Okay, so I did take a ride up there. There is a lot of screening right against the road. And it looks like they want to move it right around the corner, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a tricky one because it is two frontages on that piece of property. But in person, I didn't see much of an issue with what they're looking to do, just moving it right around the corner. Board, any comments on this one?
I didn't have a chance to drive by, but I am looking at the pictures. And it did see, I guess, the second picture, maybe the third. This showed that the generator will be screened. I just don't know what type of, are those evergreen shrubs or will they be bare in the winter? But, you know, that I'll get there before next month for a drive-by.
They
Okay.
they do have a lot of bushes on the side already of the property. It was screened. I mean, from the street, you're not going to see it.
Right.
That's the question always is someone down the road, if someone rips it out? I mean, the only thing I would ask is that as we go to, the session next month is just to ask the applicant, is there a reason why you want to put it there? Is there another place to put it in the event that someone else comes in and buys the house and rips all the shrubs out? So.
I don't know if they submitted any proposal to do screening right around it.
Yeah,
It did say it.
more landscaping too.
Say that again?
I read that they were gonna add more landscaping as well. That's currently there.
Yeah, they said they were
Plan
gonna put additional landscape around it once it's moved.
Yeah.
Because we don't have anything what they're going to replace it with though. So, we should get some testimony from the applicant.
Yeah, so the last one was almost right up against the patio. They really didn't have too much of an opportunity. I guess they could have on the outside. So there might be an opportunity, just some screening right around it. Certainly from the street, but Mr. Huber, your point is well taken. Should somebody come along and decide they want to move that property right out to the street and pick up grass, and they take out that big row of hedges, then it would become obvious. Okay, we can certainly ask that question. Okay, the next one is, again, we're not going to hear the Billings application. We'll move on to the Termanian, which is 630 Mountain Ave.
Hey, going back to the other application, how did that neighbor get away with getting a generator in their front yard?
I was gonna ask that.
Talk about ratting out a neighbor.
You're looking at the other picture?
Yeah, I was just curious, did that slip by the building department or is that just somebody did it on their own? I don't know.
Good point.
Good question. Oh, they even say she did not need a variance.
Yeah.
They probably just did it on their own.
That would be my guess.
Well, it's nice to see this applicant's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 630 Mountain Ave. Mr. DeGenero, would you give us the
630
overview?
Mountain Avenue is an existing single-family dwelling and it's in the RA 25 zone on a corner lot, currently non-conforming by way of lot area and front yard setback. The applicant's proposing a renovation in addition to the structure requiring variance relief for front yard setback and a 3-story dwelling. Existing lot size is 24,911 square feet, where the minimum in the zone is 25,000. The existing principal front yard setback on Mountain Avenue is 44.7 feet. Proposed is at 40.11 feet. The existing front yard setback number 2 along Kenneth Place is 23.21 feet. And the proposed addition will rest at 33.93 feet, where a minimum of 40 feet is required. All the other bulk dimensions are conforming. With regard to side yard setback, they're proposed at 30 feet where a minimum of 25 is required, which is the enhanced. Lot coverage is conforming under 15%. Proposed combined lot coverage is conforming under 20%. And the height of the proposed structure is at 34 feet, which is conforming, which is less than 35. However, it is a 3-story structure, as the basement is a walkout. The property is currently connected to the sanitary sewer, and a stormwater management plan must be submitted and prepared by a licensed professional engineer prior to the issuance of any building permits. We're going to send an email to the attorney and make sure that he, at the time when we did this, we were going to get it on the agenda subject to, but there's no reason why they can't get that by next meeting.
Okay. So they are looking to expand this, that whole area, which I grew up right behind it. I remember when Kenneth Place didn't exist, unfortunately. I guess fortunately, I should say. And they built a lot of large homes. This lot happens to be almost conforming at 24,911 square feet. So they're right there, which is sometimes challenging as to, well, why can't they make it fit? But since this has, again, the 2 front yards, and currently at 23.21 feet, and the new addition portion is going to be 33.93. That seems to be the biggest issue that they have. So the question really becomes, have they done enough to keep that as conforming as possible and not building over that to further exacerbate that problem? And then the other item that's on here, so they do have 3 that are checked off as requiring a variance. The one is being at 24,911 square feet instead of 25,000, which there's typically nothing they can do about that. Then the front yard setback number 2 proposed at 33.93, where it has to be 40. And then the third, and I do want to just mention the building height. That's going to be a tough one because that lot slopes drastically as you head down Mountain Ave. And they have to be very cautious how they're going to be measuring that 34 feet because they're dangerously close, which always raises a red flag. And we don't want them to come back when it's all of a sudden 36 feet. But then there's also a walkout door. And it looks like there's one that might be existing. I didn't go around to the back of the house, but it looks like there is a garage that's somewhat detached from the house. But the new man door looks like it's proposed to be at the new garage location right underneath underneath the house. And it looks like they're closing in what used to be the old garage. So because there's a man door there, it does make it a 3rd story, where if they didn't have it, then you wouldn't have that as a variance. It would not be considered a 3rd story. So did anybody get a chance to walk that piece of property at all to see the back?
I did not walk any sites. I didn't realize that we were going to be going over each application.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just, not that I don't enjoy looking at everyone, I just didn't want to stare at everyone for 15, 20 minutes until 8 o'clock rolled around.
I read your email at 6:30 and went back to my office and got my packet, so.
Yeah, it is good. I do like how the application is going to be removing that massive driveway in the backyard. So we'll be getting rid of a lot of macadam, it looks like.
The only question I have, and again, to hear testimony from the applicant once again, is to Carlos, your point, I mean, how much are they, is this a knockdown? I mean, looking at the size and scale and what they're doing to it, can they make this thing work? But, just to get some testimony there.
Yep. No, that's always a good question to ask. And it looks like, I mean, this is a significant renovation. So I'm sure they're expecting that question to be asked. Any issues with the door, the walk-in door? making this a third story.
So, question, if they have a garage door there still, and they didn't put the main door, and they just kept a garage door, it wouldn't need a 3-story variance?
No,
Because they're still keeping that like garage area under the porch, but they're just putting a man door, so they're just putting a man door in that box, even though they still have a garage door down there?
so if you look at the elevation view of that, which is what I was trying to figure out, it looks like they're closing that in. So am I looking at it correctly? Is that shown on A5?
Yeah, where do you see the rear elevation? Oh, A5.
Yeah, it does look like they're closing it in.
Well,
There is
A5.
There is a garage, there is a garage under it's being closed, I recall.
Yeah,
So
I
there's-
think A5, that bottom left
Bottom left
elevation
side.
is it, right?
Yep, that's it, under the 3-bay window. That gets closed off, I believe.
So, I think the plan view shows maybe a window. Sorry for getting a lot of paper noise.
I guess you're right, it does show a window, and it just shows the outline of the old garage door.
Shows the outline of the old garage door and then maybe a window right in the middle
Yeah,
on A2.
even though that's not reflected on the elevations.
Even though
If
it's
you
not left.
look at the,
Reflected on the elevations.
Right, right.
if you look at the landscape plan, it shows a retaining wall that's going to be in front of where the garage door is. So it looks like the garage door is going to be, and there's also lawn all in that area. So it looks to me like the garage doors go away.
Yeah, I agree, in the back of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think right
Plus,
where the
there's no
garage
driveway
doors are
back there, so-
currently is where they're gonna put that man door.
Right.
Yeah, so the man door is on the back elevation of the house to the right of where the garage door would be, is how I would look at it.
Yep. Around the corner from the AC units.
Yeah. Yes. I guess if you're in the backyard, it would be to the left of the AC units.
To the left of the AC units, yeah. All right, so I
You know,
think
again, I didn't go to
that's
this-
a good starting. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Carl, I just said I didn't go to the site, but it looks like overall, the only increase really is that garage to the left. The footprint of the house stays, correct? Am I looking at that correctly?
Yeah, I believe you're right. So that's the question, how much is really coming down? Because it may just be they're keeping the entire existing and just adding on that left side for the garage. So let's see, we want the right side.
Looks like they're coming forward a little bit, but that may be a porch.
Okay. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a bigger mass, but footprint wise, it's like what you said, Eric, it looks like they're getting a front porch and then they're getting the 2-car garage. From a footprint standpoint.
So if you look at A1, they are showing that right-hand side existing and remaining, which is that first floor space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to answer your original question, Carl, being that they currently have a garage door in the back left now, I really don't have a concern with the man door or the third floor variance. I was concerned about the height, but again, in A1, that, from the street, I think the height of the structure is going to be approximately 31.5 feet. It's just that back left man door, where you get all the height from the backyard.
Actually, I think it's going to be lower than that.
Yeah, I see 31.42 maybe, if I'm looking at the right number.
Yeah, but that's to the foundation of the lowest level in the basement.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
am I looking
showing,
at the wrong
probably
number?
showing the rear. It looks like it's 8, so 16, call it 17, 18, and then it's tough to tell what the roof is.
Yeah, that seems off though. If you take 31.42 and less 7 feet 8 inches, I mean, we're talking about less than 24-foot home. This seems like a lot bigger than a 24-foot home, no? Something
It
seems
does,
wrong on
although
the plans.
it's only 2 steps up. I guess they're doing just, that's 10, so no, I guess it is 9-foot ceilings.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. So maybe it is a 24-foot home, then that would be a definite plus.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the second floor windows in comparison to the actual roof, they've kept that pretty compact.
True.
Yeah.
Right? So you can kind of tell, I mean, they don't have a 10-foot attic, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, in the bottom view of A1, you can really see that. The right elevation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they did a nice job keeping it relatively compact.
Yeah, you do the math on it, it's a 23.8 foot structure.
Right.
Yes. So, personally, I don't have an issue with the height nor with the third floor.
No. Agree.
Neither do I.
All right,
And then-
so then maybe we'll just get some testimony, how much is really coming down? And the only thing is the front yard, the second front yard setback being 6.5 feet from conforming
Right.
for the new.
And it's
Agreed.
pre-existing and they're not going up over it.
Right. Well, the pre-existing is 23 feet. What they're proposing to build over is 33. So anything new is 33.
So really, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, if you look at the cover sheet, it's really just that corner of the second floor, correct? If I'm reading this right? It's that back right corner of the second floor that's going to be at the 33 feet.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
So really the variances that they're looking for, the 3 variances already exist. So they're not increasing the variances with setbacks at all. Some of them are actually decreasing, right?
Yeah, what they're proposing to build is less than what's existing.
Yeah.
And you're right, in the front of the house, that front right is actually right there with conforming.
Yeah.
It's just that the house does not sit square to the road to Kenneth Place. Kenneth Place actually comes in at an angle. Whereas if Kenneth Place went perpendicular to mountain, that whole section that they're proposing to build is probably conforming.
Correct. Agreed.
Yep. No, well, it's definitely a hardship.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on this one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we spent a couple of minutes on it. That was good. Okay, the next one is Sulo, 234 Franklin Ave. Mr. DeGenero, whenever you're ready.
.234 Franklin Avenue is a existing single-family home in the R15 zone, currently non-conforming due to lot area and side yard setbacks. The applicant's proposing an addition or renovation requiring variance for side yard setbacks. The lot size existing is 10,803 square feet, where a minimum of 15,000 square feet is required in the zone. The frontage required is 100 feet. That's conforming at 109. The side yard setbacks. In my report, I, in error, typed in 20-foot enhanced side applies. It does not apply on this. It's a 15-foot side yard setback, as the gross building area is less than the 2,700 square feet. So existing side yard number 1 is at 3.1 feet, proposed to remain at 3.1 feet. Existing number 2 is at 10.94 feet, proposed to remain at 10.94 feet. Where both 15 feet, where 15 feet is required for both side yards. The rear yard setback is compliant in excess of 30 feet. The existing principal building is at 11.52%, proposed at 14.4%, and the max permitted combined is 20%. The proposed combined is at 14.4%. The height is proposed at 28.31 feet, where a maximum permitted is 35. The property is served by sanitary sewer, and the application does not qualify for stormwater management review.
Okay, so the lot size is undersized. That box should have been checked. They're at 10,803, so it's an undersized lot. Percentage-wise, quite a bit. The setbacks are the major issue. So side yard 1 is at 3.1, and they're proposing 3.1. Side yard 2 is 10.94, and they're proposing 10.94. So I'm somewhat familiar with the area. This is a unique lot. If you look at the survey, you can see it's a challenge because it's a pie shape. Where had it been a rectangle, they would be in a much better position. This house already on the left-hand side, the 3.1 side, is very close because the neighbor's house to that left is also close to the right-hand side. Relatively small lots. So they definitely have a challenge. There's definitely a hardship due to the shape of this lot. And the other hardship or challenge, and I can totally understand what they're looking to do. It looks like, in summary, they're adding a little bit of space, first floor, basement, first floor, second floor, just adding a little bit of space there. And primarily the second floor, the house is rather unique. The right side now is 2-story, and then it just drops off to the first floor roof. So they're looking to fill that in. So the house proper, they're not really increasing left to right. They are increasing a little bit off the back. And then they want to put a covered porch, covered paver porch with a full roof, but open configuration off the back, which does happen to fit within the setbacks, just barely. So this one's tricky. The tricky part is I don't know how they got all the furniture up through a round staircase going up to those bedrooms. And it looks like, oddly enough, they're looking to get rid of that and put it in a traditional staircase, which is crazy. I don't know why they would do that. So it looks like they're looking to pick up some bedrooms. They're making it a completely open floor plan and then having the rear covered porch off the bank. So the real challenge is this house is already 3.1 feet off the property line. And we can definitely look at this as a hardship due to the configuration of the lot. We just have to weigh everything to see if the benefit outweighs the detriment. Is it worth it, what they're looking to do? What will it cause to the neighbors? I don't see, Ms. Mitchell, I don't see anyone listed as an attendee. So do I assume that no one else from the public has called in?
No one has called in.
Okay. All right, so it's very possible that one of the neighbors may have something to say about this, just because it's going to be virtually right on top of them. Any comments on the application?
It's just gonna be a tight fit.
It's an improvement from what's there, you know, as far as going up. The left side seems like it's increasing. The right side seems like it's staying about the same height, the way I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'm looking at it incorrectly, but.
No, I think you're right, Mark.
Okay.
So I struggle with the 3 feet. And I don't struggle with the second floor. I agree with Mark, but I struggle with, building this, putting this fourth bedroom with a 10 by 10, 10 by 9 walk-in closet, upstairs laundry, and a master bath, 3 feet off the property line. That's a lot of space for that type of variance. I'm struck. I get it. Everybody wants their house to be squared off, but at the same time, they knew they were buying a pie-shaped lot when they moved into the house.
No, I agree. And I don't know if they were to do more on the second floor where they're showing the small little 2-story addition on A1, that is virtually outside of the setback. So maybe they can do more with keeping this from going all the way across. On the flip side, you then have a very irregular shaped house.
Yeah, it's definitely a struggle.
Which, let's be honest, just having a second floor over the right, call it third, almost half of the house is already somewhat irregular. I do think it's an improvement, certainly, to what they have, and it'll certainly get them the space that they're trying to achieve. I'm kind of in the same spot. It's aggressive, and I suppose if I were in their shoes, I'd be trying to do the same thing and shoot for the stars and see what comes up. I do think it'd be a real struggle for the board to approve approving an application that was at 3.1 feet off the property line, where every part of what they're doing going up really has an impact and is going to be at 3.1. I think that's the real struggle.
Is that 3.1 existing or is that new?
The 3.1 is, it looks like it's existing. It's that.
It says it's existing.
There was a closet.
Let me see. Yeah, it's on X1.
Yeah, I see it now. Yep.
Which, listen, I haven't seen the inside of this house. It is a unique layout. If you look at the living room, You come down the spiral staircase from your bedrooms into the living room. And there's a fireplace that really, you have doors by the front landing. So, I mean, you could probably put one chair in front of the fireplace to enjoy the fireplace, if that's what that is, on the left side of the living room.
So
And then
on
you
the,
have a very odd shaped closet that jets out, which is existing.
Right.
But, you know, I did look at that. Even if they were to reconfigure and get rid of that additional bump out, it is still going to be a bedroom. They might be able to do some work with that. But the problem is the pie shape to the lot. Even if they got rid of that bump out, you go another 10, 15 feet further, and the corner of the house is 3.5 feet.
Right.
yeah,
You know, so you're
I just say that is the challenge. I mean, again, they're staying within the footprint. It's just they're going up, and it is existing, right? Non-conforming, but that's the real challenge. That is the real challenge. How to solve that.
they don't have any measurements on how tall the home's gonna be. You know, on the elevation plans. We have the one, I'm sorry.
28.31.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just saw that.
So it is going up. That's the,
Yeah.
Am I reading this wrong? That bump out's not going up to the second floor, is it?
No, it's only staying on the first floor according to the elevation plan, right?
Yeah. It looks like that bump out, that existing bump out, they're not moving upward. It looks like
You're
I'm,
talking the existing closet on the first floor?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that stays. The issue is the lot then tapers in because it's a pie shape, and the
Yeah.
back corner of that is 3.5. So I can tell you that they didn't do themselves any favors by having a gable on that left-hand side.
yeah.
Well, I think they could flatten their roof also to get the height down. Right? I mean, if you look at the, you know, from the second stories is 8 feet. I mean, you look at the overall height, if the two floors are 16 plus, you know, you got the floor joist in between. I mean, their overall height is 28. So, I mean, my gosh, that attic is going to be a 9 foot, 8 foot attic. Maybe that the roof line needs to get reduced down.
I agree, Mark. If there's a way to redo that, where it kind of tapers that look off to the side, because at the end of the day, yes, he bought a lot that's a pie shape and it's undersized. They're only looking to add 300 square feet here. You know, it's not like they're coming in trying to go up to like 5,000 square feet or add a few thousand square feet to the home. Taper that on the, if the taper is soften the height, you know, I'd like to see a way that this could possibly work for them.
You know, if you think about it, from the second floor ceiling height, there's 11 feet above that to the ridge line.
Right.
Because you got 8 feet for the first floor, foot in between, plus 8 on top, so that's 17. 17 off the 28, you know, you're left with 11-foot attic, roughly. If they were able to shrink that on the left-hand side at least somehow, I don't know how they redo that roof line, but.
And yeah, I struggle with, if you go back to the pictures that were submitted with the application, and you look at the last picture that's labeled back, you know, that neighbor's house is right there.
And the neighbor's got a narrow lot too. Everything's squeezed in over there.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's, you know, you get the fences lot, then the narrowest lot in the row there next to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that house is a ranch, it looks like, from the picture.
I believe so. I didn't get to the property, but I think you're right on that street.
If they reworked the roof line and almost did like a hip roof on the left and right hand side, so that you didn't have the peak going all the way out. I don't know what that would look like, but maybe that's something that you need to can throw at them and suggest maybe looking at that.
They have the gables running to the front of the house anyway, so they can just at least on the left side, you can keep that front gable, and it wouldn't even be a hip roof. It would just the gable would be in the front, and that would soften it.
Yeah,
But
agree.
It seems like both sides are just there's not a window on either side of the house.
Yeah.
There's no architectural detail on either side of the house other than that closet bump out, which is our closest point. What isn't on like the foundation. I almost would say, again, I know it's a small amount and then the back corner jumps in, but I almost say get rid of that closet because it's just a single story. It's just one more point of encroachment. But I feel like maybe rework the back corner where the mat on the second floor and just try to give a little bit more detail and get a little bit more in the setback.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just a box on top of the existing house, which I understand. And, I understand it's a big improvement, but I feel like they could be a little bit more creative in making it work due to the hardships.
I agree with you. The right-hand side and the left-hand side are so blocked. They got to do something on that I didn't pick up on that, Brian, but there's absolutely no windows on either side.
Yeah.
And they put the shingle or the shake style detail on the top, but on the sides they're just left there, and then they're 3 feet off the property line. So I struggle with that a little bit. I think it can be a little bit more creative. And at least if they're going to have this building that's encroaching, at least have it be a little bit more thought-through.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be a tough sell for me for 3 feet on the second floor.
Well, just one more thing. Did anybody notice, usually when we see something like this, the family has grown, they need more room, they're adding bedrooms. This is a 4-bedroom house, and it's going to be a 4-bedroom house. So I almost look at it, and I don't know what the intentions are, and I don't want to make any accusations. It almost seems like this is being set up to be sold, and they're trying to make it more desirable. Because right now they've got a tough sale. And that could be completely wrong. But it's going from a 4-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. And the board is going to have to make a decision to go from a 4-bedroom to a 4-bedroom at 3.1 feet off the property line. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I agree. I looked at the elevations, no windows, and I see it. It's the master bath, and then you have the master closet. So there's a lot of stuff going on that second floor. So
Not just one, 2 big walk-in closets.
a big walk-in closet. Yep.
2 in the master. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
No, it's a laundry.
Other walk-in closet is on bedroom 3. Excuse me.
Right.
I didn't get out to the site, but what did the landscape look like? I mean, all their suggestion is basically keeping the existing shrubbery that they have. So again, I didn't get to see it, but I'm just, I think it seems to me with this kind of renovation, we might want to suggest a formal landscape plan.
So they just did some work. I don't even think the driveway is paved yet.
Yeah, they just put the circle in
Yep.
in the past 2 months.
So yeah, I was waiting to hear comments on the landscape plan. No matter what, I would say whatever direction we go in, we'll have to see a more comprehensive plan. Because some of the things, I didn't get a close look, some of these might be already aging out and need to be replaced anyway. And certainly if they're proposing something that's going to be 3.1 feet off and 2 stories, we would want to see something a little more thorough and detailed than this. Okay. Anything else? Very good.
Chairman, the only question I have is, as we proceed in this new uncharted territory, I guess, is will the applicant have an opportunity, hopefully, to review this prior to the next meeting? Because, you know, for an application like this, where there are concerns and issues, as we know in a regular session, where they're there, they have an opportunity to talk about and make some changes prior to our meeting. Hopefully, I don't know how we basically ask them to listen to this so that they can be prepared for the next meeting. So if in the event that for whatever reason they're not prepared, they have to spend another month waiting for either the decision from the board. So
I think they would be interested in hearing your comments,
Yeah.
and I will reach out to the applicant
Okay.
and tell them how to find
Okay, thanks,
the
Maureen.
meeting.
Good.
Sure.
Good.
When do the minutes get posted?
The minutes?
Do they get posted at all?
And just
Yeah, the minutes do. I mean, it's gonna take a couple of weeks for me to get them done, but they don't get posted to the website until they're approved at the next meeting.
Right, so
But
the only way they have to,
They can watch the YouTube video. This
Right.
is being recorded, and they can go on the township's YouTube site, and they can watch this whole thing.
perfect. Okay,
This way they're prepared, so we don't go through this session again, and then they come and say that, oh, you're right, we should basically put some windows on the side or take the closets out. that
I
they're
think
prepared
that's a
for.
great idea.
Yeah.
yep,
That's a great idea.
And there's no issue with Maureen mentioning that to her. We're gonna send out that template, Maureen, anyway, and we're doing them a courtesy, and I think it's a good one. There's nothing that says we can't do that. So-
Well, the recorded meeting is public
Yeah, but
information.
But I think what you're saying is
Everybody
you're
can
gonna
watch
kind of
it.
like say, it's a good idea for you to go back and look at it. It's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
right, Dave, yep.
I think I might say to them, you might, you know,
beneficial.
might be interested, you might be interested,
Right.
you might benefit from it.
It benefits the board, so you're not rehashing the stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's my point, is that to go through another month and then say we're pushing it to July, and then July turns into, you know, so,
Right.
and there are a couple of these
And
people.
it's been many months waiting to get on. I think it's the fair
Correct, yeah.
thing for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
no, I think that's why I wanted to at least have the conversation tonight. I think it's a good opportunity, plus it's a good test run. I haven't really found it to be distracting as people are going through their documents at all.
no,
I
Not at
kinda
all.
set up a table next to me so I can open things up, but it isn't like I'm just hearing static constantly the entire time.
mm-mm.
I think it's been very good. All right. Is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up under the work session? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close.
So move.
Motion.
Mr. Hubert, second. Mr. Rubenacker, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
All right, so moved.
We can keep rolling, right, since it's after 8?
Yeah, I need to take 10 minutes.
What?
What? You kidding?
Yeah, I do want to roll right into the public meeting. As soon as I can find all of the paperwork that I have to read again. Okay.
While you're looking, Carl, remind me, what's on Wayfair Circle?
Wayfair Circle, 182.
Yes.
That house, they were pretty close for it to be conforming without having to come to the board at all.
They withdrew their application officially today.
Oh, they did?
Ah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we can,
So we have the application. They hadn't officially withdrawn. They were going to go back to see if they could make it work without having to come before the board. And I guess they found a way to do it. So they withdrew the application.
all right, so we can toss this?
You can toss it.
I guess so.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Mitchell, I'm assuming all statements have to be read again, correct?
I don't think you have to read the virtual one again, but we didn't chairman didn't at the planning board meeting, but I guess it's, I don't know. There are no strict rules about it, but
Dave, you're muted.
Sorry about that. You do need to read the public. Do we have anybody that's listening in at all, Maureen?
no.
Then you only have to read the public one, but next meeting, if you have anybody that's on there, you should read the whole thing again.
Okay.
In
All right,
case
so-
they came on after you read the original, that's why.
So I'll read the public meeting opening statement and the affordable housing development fee.
Right.
The other one I won't. Okay. All right. The May 21st, 2020 public meeting of the Wyckoff Board of Adjustment is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the Township Clerk, the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald and News, all newspapers with general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and mailed to said newspapers. All applicants are hereby reminded that your application, if approved, may be subject to the terms, conditions, and payment of the affordable housing development fee requirements of the Township. Information can be obtained from the Code of the Township of Wyckoff, Chapter 113-8 on the Township's website, www.wyckoff-nj.com. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. Ms. Mitchell, roll call, please.
Mr. Tanis,
Here.
Mr. Kalpagian,
Here.
Mr. Hubert,
Present.
Ms. Riato,
Here.
Ms. Evans,
Here.
Ms. Conlon,
Here.
Mr. Rubenacker,
Here.
Mr. Borst,
Here.
Chairman Fry.
Here. All right, as we do customarily, we'll do the flag salute. Maureen has a flag that she will hold up. Mr. Rubenacker, if you would lead us, if you would please stand for the flag salute.
Wonderful. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic
For
which it stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and
and
justice
for all.
Great job. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. I called her an hour or so ago. I had a little clipboard of a flag. I said, hey, can you pull this up? She goes, I'm already on it. I have a flag. We're all set. Okay. Again, welcome everyone. We don't have any participants calling in from the general public, so we can kind of expedite matters. So just to recap for the record, we went through the general housekeeping, old business resolution for payment 20-05, and the resolution to be memorialized, which was the Halili application, 11 Madison Heights, block 334, lot 2. The Han application, 51 Midland Ave, has been withdrawn. And we also just heard that the Billings application, 182 Wayfair Circle, has been withdrawn. So we had a change in the notice requirements. So therefore, we are not going to be hearing any of the other 3 applications that we have tonight. Mr. Becker and Ms. Mitchell have been working together on the revised language to help the applicants so that they can receive the information and basically just copy that right into the letters, because they do have to renotice to the newspapers and then also to all the neighbors. And it's unfortunate, there is a cost to it. We are sympathetic to it. And we just appreciate everyone's cooperation and understanding. Things change all the time, and we're doing everything we possibly can to keep moving forward, as is evidence of us having a virtual meeting. So that's the reason why the other applications will not be heard tonight. We did touch on them in the work session. And that will be it. And hopefully if anyone from the public had any, or any of the applicants have any questions, they can reach out to Town Hall. And we'll steer them in the right direction so they can listen to the YouTube video recording of this and get any information that they might need so that they are prepared for next meeting. That being said, I don't have any other business. I did want to leave it open in case someone from the public did call in. So we did officially have to open the public meeting and just have a brief discussion on it. If anyone has any questions, I think we pretty much covered it all, and we've been having a lot of dialogue back and forth all along, so I think we're okay. But if anybody has any questions, by all means, feel free to bring it up now. If not, this could be a record. We could move to close the public meeting. Anybody have any questions?
Just before we close, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say have a great Memorial Day to the entire team. I will miss seeing you all on the parade route.
Yeah.
And I know that the parade committee has a special video planned for the township. So I think we're going to post it onto the town website on Monday. So if you or your kids have some extra time, check it out. And also, if anybody wants to submit a video, brief 10, 30-second clip on what Memorial Day means to you, we'll be happy to. I think they're still putting the finishing touches on the video. And so it'll be a number of different townsfolk throughout Wyckoff, children, adults, saying what does Memorial Day mean to them. So check out the video. And I think there's also going to be a moment of silence at noon. So you may hear some, and when I say moment of silence, it'll probably be some church bells going off and maybe the fire whistle as well. So everybody have a great 3-day weekend.
Great.
Same to you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Very much.
Thanks, Eric.
And I know I pointed out in my email, I can say everyone that's on the board and everyone at Town Hall has been nothing but supportive and cooperative. And I do want to thank everyone. And I know Ms. Mitchell, you had a lot of dealings with people and having to explain why the applications aren't going to be heard. I do appreciate the effort that you have and everything you've done. Not one person has had any complaint, argument. It's all been extremely positive, which is fantastic. And I meant when I wrote in that email, it is a true testament of the character of the people on this board. And I do appreciate it. I know the town does appreciate it. They think we do a very good job. And I do as well. So that being said, I also want to wish everyone a happy and safe Memorial Day. I will miss watching the parade as well, and it's nice to see some people still with flags and the spirit. It's still alive and still strong as we're still kind of trying to see what the future brings for everyone. It does seem like things are starting to open back up, so we'll get back there. We'll get back to a somewhat state of normalcy relatively soon, and then I think it'll pick up from there. So fortunately, everyone, knock on wood, last time I asked, everyone's healthy. Everyone in the family's healthy, which is fantastic. So you hear a lot of horror stories, but fortunately, everyone here is doing well, and I wish the best to you and your families.
Likewise.
Take care. Have a great weekend, everyone.
I'll
Thank you.
entertain a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
aye.
second, Mr.
Great
Huber, all in
weekend, everybody.
favor? Aye, all right.
All right.
So
Great
moved.
weekend, everyone. Take care.
Great night, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day.
Weekend.
Thanks, Maureen.
You're welcome.